Chapter 4 The Blue Light in the Pine Barrens, Part 3. So Howard Rich is in his bedroom in his mom's house and he's watching television. He's watching The Night Stalker at 11:30, which was a fantasy horror show. And Aphrodite Lamar asks, "What are you feeling as you're watching the TV?" And Howard says that he's feeling tensely tired and apprehensive, that he doesn't feel safe, and that it's getting later. And then he says that it's really bright. So he gets up and he takes a pistol from the drawer and looks out the window and walks out to the front of the house and looks outside. And he says that it's bright and quiet outside and that it's just the moon. That's the reason that it's bright. And he walks to the back of the house and looks around. And he says that there's another bright light. And Aphrodite Lamar asks, "Where is it coming from?" And he says that it's the trees behind the house. Then he drops the pistol and he feels that he cannot move. And he gets the feeling that there's some people in there and those people are looking at him. And the people, they're trying to move him. And the bright light is all around him. And he feels like he's floating. And that there are dark black shadows in the light. And he feels very cold. All of a sudden, he's back inside the house. And he has no memory of how he got inside the house. And he looks at the TV and there's a different program showing on TV. It's the late movie and it's 2 o'clock in the morning. And he doesn't remember coming in. He puts the pistol down and he cleans it because it was dirty. And it was also wet. So he lays down to go to sleep and turns the lights off. But he's really frightened. So he takes a drink of cognac so that he could go to sleep. And he takes a Valium, but he still can't go to sleep. And he notices that there is blood on the pillow, like a little spot of blood. And Dr. Lamar asks, "Where did the blood stains come from?" And Howard says that he doesn't know. Then he goes to sleep and it's the morning and he's dressed. And he's walking outside the house in the light and he's late. He slept late, and that doesn't happen often. It's 11 in the morning and he's really tired. He's walking around outside the house and he gets this feeling of apprehension and he feels very strange. And this is when he calls Budd Hopkins and tells him about what happened. And he talked to Budd, and Budd Hopkins suggests that he calls the police to see if there was any reports of lights or flares. He also calls the military base, but they say that there were no flares. And then the officer asked him a lot of questions. Howard feels strange for a few days, and he gets in his car and drives around, and there are a lot of back roads and pine forests, and for some reason in the late afternoon he's driving around all over the place, and he gets out of the car to certain spots and just walks around, and he doesn't really know why he does that. He just looks around. Then he gets up in his car and he drives to another spot. He drives to another spot to look around, and he doesn't really know why he does that. And it then gets late in the afternoon and in the sunset, and then drive back home.